Hey there, so I've got two Las Trancas Geodes today to crack for Evelyn and Drake. And I do apologize, Joy, I tried to get two as similar as I could, but I'm so low on these now that unfortunately all of them were just extremely different in shape. So let's hope that we get two really, really good ones. And I'll let you choose which one goes to which. But we're also going to take a look at what makes these special. We're going to deep dive into these geodes, at the structure, what their composition is. We're going to take this a little bit deeper than we normally do, so stay tuned. But before we get into any of that, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It tremendously helps with the algorithm, and that algorithm is treating me like I owe it money. So I would tremendously appreciate it. Also, if you haven't checked out my website yet, mooneyfinemineral.com, it's in the description. There's some fun stuff on it. Also, I have a Patreon now, so if you want to support me in other ways, you can. But let's get to it. Alright, so this is a Las Trancas Geode. This is a vesicle. It is a bubble that formed in lava as the lava was cooling that didn't make it to the surface. And that allowed a nice little cavity to form, which allowed crystals to line it over time. I do have a what is a geode video that explains this in a little bit more detail. Okay, a little excess material, that's okay. Come on. I want a really good break. Okay. Oh, okay, that was a weird break, but it was worth it. Very, very thick chalcedony. Chalcedony is a cryptocrystalline quartz. It's very, very, very tiny little quartz points all compacted together, and it's formed in what's called a botryoidal mass, meaning grape-like. So that's why it looks like little kind of clustered grapes, balls that are mixed in there. This one we'll have to hit with the black light, because it's got so much of this chalcedony, it'll probably light up. That's cool. That is cool. Alright, not the best crack on the planet. We do lose a little bit of material with these sometimes, and that's what happened here. But, beautiful color. Alright, let's try the next one. Whip. Alright, so this is the next one. Let's focus in. I'm glad I checked. Alright, so this is the next one. Let's give it a good go. Come on, good crack. Come on, good crack. Come on. Ooh! Good crack. No! Well, I guess that's... okay. Alright, so I thought it was a double, but it was actually a single with a solid little cavity up top. So this one is distinctly different from the other. You still have those grape-like little clusters inside of it, but you see very tiny little sparkly quartz points in it. And that would be what would be considered druzy. Druzy quartz is tiny little quartz crystals that form as a coating over something else. In this case, it formed over the chalcedony. So you had tiny, tiny microscopic quartz crystals forming these clusters, and then these bigger ones grew over those. So that's why there's the disparity. I was a little bit concerned because I thought I'd busted it, but it was a solid nodule, so it was just some excess material. That's still a fun one. This one might light up too. We'll give it a shot in a little bit. first things first, let me find my macro lens and we'll take a little bit closer look at these. Alright, so let's take a look at the sporkly one first. There's a calcite crystal right there. But you can see these are tiny, tiny little quartz points. Just all coating this stuff. And let's grab this one. This is the same basic structure, only you do not have the quartz points. They still look really cool though. Let's get the black light out. And then we've got one more thing to talk about. So the story of fluorescence, we have to, and why these color changes happen specifically, we have to look at what makes these, what makes these on the atomic level. So it's silica dioxide quartz, both of these, different forms of it. So one silica and 2 oxygen atoms, these tiny little building blocks of everything, basically. Those are made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Well, sometimes these little atoms, when they are exposed to different wavelengths of light, and it doesn't happen with everything, mind you, like this is something that does not happen with everything. Sometimes when certain wavelengths of light hit these atoms inside this crystal, they reach an excited state. So the electrons start spinning up really, really fast. They just get really excited because of this light. Basically, the light is imparting energy, effectively. And they spin really, 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 really fast, and it causes them to give off a visible light. And that's what fluorescence is. You also have like phosphorescence and other stuff too, where you can take the light off, and sometimes it'll stay glowing for just a little bit longer. That's another phenomenon entirely. But that's effectively what this is. So these are silica dioxide quartz, little chains of atoms and molecules all compiling together and forming a crystal over time. Sometimes you can have impurities form in as well, where you'll have iron connect to a little oxygen atom that works its way into the chain of molecules, and you'll get stuff like amethyst. When different minerals or elements work their way into a crystalline structure, it's called an impurity. Or an inclusion, typically. But, yeah. Anyway, I hope this has been informative. Evelyn, Drake, enjoy your geodes, enjoy everything else, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and again, if you haven't yet, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Check out my Patreon, check out my website. There have been all manners of shipping shenanigans I've been having to deal with, but we're working through it. Thank you all so very much. It has been a pleasure.